And NBC News has some new reporting on how the president is approaching those issues surrounding his son. Three people familiar with the situation tell NBC News the president has made it clear to his top aides in no uncertain terms he not only will reject any political advice that he tried to limit Hunter's public visibility, but that he also does not want to hear any such suggestions. The blunt directive from the president may help to explain why the father and son's public appearances have only increased recently, as scrutiny has intensified around Hunter Biden's legal problems. People close to the president tell NBC News keeping his son near also means keeping him safe, because Hunter is a recovering drug addict. As the president reportedly wrestles with the issue, sources say he resents anyone would suggest he distance himself from his son because of what he views as unfair and outrageous Republican attacks. All that told to NBC News. So, Jonathan Lemire, I think certainly the president raised some eyebrows by bringing Hunter Biden to the state dinner a few days ago, last week, and made him a very visible part of that evening. This, as the House Oversight Committee and other organizations within the House Republican leadership go after this issue, Hunter, and try to make it the centerpiece, really, of this campaign.
Yeah, this is a story where many things can be true at once, Willie. And you're right. Some Democrats and close Biden advisors were a little surprised that just 2 days after Hunter Biden pleaded guilty to various tax crimes, that he then appeared at the state dinner when Prime Minister of India was in Washington. In fact, Attorney General Garland was also at that dinner. Of course, DOJ was the one in charge of that case. He has told people he didn't realize Hunter Biden was going to be there and wouldn't have appeared himself had he known. Hunter Biden, his public profile has really picked up in recent weeks. He was at his father's side throughout their trip to Ireland back in the spring. He's been spotted at more White House events lately as well. And look, it has been long known in Biden's orbit, and including among White House staffers, that you simply don't talk about Hunter Biden with the president. That it is something that he, of course, feels very deeply about. It's his one surviving son, someone who's lived a very tough life, and someone who has been very open about the tragedy he's faced, but also the drug addiction that he continues to battle. And it's a subject the president just doesn't want to speak about. He says he has unconditional love for his son, and we have seen that on display a number of times. But it does remain, fair or not, a political issue. The Republicans, Willie, in the House are still ramping up their investigations, pointing to new whistleblower testimony that suggests that the DOJ probe was not as fair as it should have been, suggesting that there is still business dealings to probe. And I think it's safe to say that Hunter Biden is going to remain a storyline heading the next election. And at least President and Hunter's father, the President of the United States, is saying, look, I'm keeping him as close to me as I can.
And you could see it even yesterday. A question was shouted as the president went out to Marine One yesterday at the White House about Hunter Biden. He said no, he wasn't involved in any of that, but he sort of barked at the reporter a little bit.